Audio Jungle.
Good evening and welcome to this special edition of CNN News. My name is Samuel Wallace. We're interrupting the coverage of the midterm elections to cover something much more important than how many seats the Democrats will win tonight. George Salamandras, the star quarterback for the LA Rams, has gone missing. He was last sighted 2 days ago on a fishing trip in Tasmania, Australia. He was due to return for training at the LA Rams Stadium at 10 a.m. this morning, but he did not show up. The police are investigating what is considered to be a suspicious disappearance. At this stage, there has been no official comment by the police, but a source close to George Salamandras' family says there are numerous suspects the police are talking to. In tonight's special news report, we will speak to some of those possible suspects, as well as the coach for the LA Rams, and some very concerned fans who are in anguish at George's disappearance. So let's start with an interview that we have just conducted with George Salamandras' mum. Georgia Salamandras, our roving journalist Clark Kent, is on the scene with Georgia in her family home. Over to you, Clark.
Thank you, Sammy. And now with Mrs. Salamandras. And how much do you love your son, Mrs. Salamandras?
Yorgos in the whole world for me. I pray to God, after 2 girls I have, to have a boy that time, 50 years ago. And I pray to God, and that's what God give me, a perfect, beautiful little boy who still is like an angel to me.
Is he the best son ever?
Yorgos is the best son ever. He's my beautiful son, inside and out. I don't think so I ever see a man like George. He's the world to me. It's more beautiful, handsome, beautiful heart, lovely son and lovely brother.
Wow, she really loves her son. She even told me he looks like JFK Jr. Right, back to you, Samuel.
Thanks for that interview, Clark. Before we speak to the suspects, whom we understand the police are talking to, we will now show you footage that we took earlier today, when we went out and interviewed some Rams fans, as well as some postings we have received on our Facebook page. To say these fans are devastated at the disappearance of George Salamandras is an understatement. Let's take a look.
You know, what can I say? It's the worst news I've ever heard in my life. You know, he's been my idol ever since he joined the Rams, and I just don't know if I can find myself going for the Rams anymore. That's why I made the switch. I'm going for San Francisco now. So, Georgia, if you're out there, I miss you, buddy. Please come home.
A quick expression of my sincere devastation of the missing of George Salamandras. We miss you. I want you to come home. There's no one else like you, especially another quarterback like you. Hanging to see you. Can't wait to see you. Please come home soon. Love you. Bye.
Love you, George. Your #1 fan right here. Hurry up and get home because we need you to win. And I hope wherever you are, you're having lots of fun, but you need to come back ASAP because we need you for the Super Bowl Sunday. See you soon.
George, we miss you, we love you, we need you to come back and win the Super Bowl for Rams. Go Rams!
I'll win!
Yeah. And George, where are you? Where are you, George?
Oh my goodness. Have you heard the news? I know what you're laughing for. George Salamandras has gone missing.
Not George!
Yes.
Today?
We really need to take this shirt off this show. There can't be another team like this anymore. I don't know how we're going to deal with it. Oh, you poor baby. He's the best footballer we've ever had. Please, if you keep smiling, I'm going to slap you.
We love George, and we really hope the police find him soon. What happened to George? He went missing or kidnapped or something. I know.
George, please, where are you? I can't. I'm gonna miss you. You're hot, and I love my husband, but I really. But he's
what?
He's
That's
hot, right?
weird, man.
He's
That's
hot.
weird.
Bugger, we've got a problem. We've lost George Salamandras. Actually, it's okay. We'll get by. We haven't lost Dustin Martin.
Where's George? Archer, where's George? Gone. We want to know where George is. He's lost. Where's he gone? Up there? Oh, in that frog? Where? Is he in the pool? Oh no.
George who? Salamandras? Who the fuck is that?
Well, that was a group of mostly devastated fans. We will now take you to an interview with the Rams coach, Mr. Nick Petrakis.
Nick Petrakis, how much do you value George as a player?
Oh, look, George is the best quarterback we've got in this league, and he's the best NFL quarterback this season.
How do you think the team will cope without George?
George has to be found. No two ways about it. He needs to be found as quick as possible because this team needs him.
Now I'm going to interview some of George's teammates and see what their views are on George's disappearance. How do you feel about George Salamandras' absence?
Gutted. Yeah, without George, there's just no team chemistry. I don't know how we'll perform without him, to be honest. Gutted.
Who? Nah, I'm joking. He's an absolute out-and-out star. One of the most important players, not only in this team but in the whole competition. So there's no way we'll beat the Seattle Seahawks without him here. But you know what? We're American. We're going to give it our best shot. I'm personally going to take a kneel during the national anthem, but yeah, and I know George would too.
Well, that was a really shocking report to hear. It's hard to see how the Rams will cope if George is not found soon. Let's now focus on who the potential suspects are for George Salamandras' disappearance. Today, Clark Kent has been very, very busy. He has interviewed several possible suspects. Over to you, Clark.
Yes, today I spoke to numerous suspects who are persons of interest. Firstly, Jeremy Jampson and Alison Wallace, the couple who last saw George Salamandras. I spoke to them via Skype. What happens, Jeremy?
Just went fishing for flathead. George loves flathead. He told me he'd help him in his upcoming game against the Seattle Seahawks to play better.
And Alison, what do you say?
He's such a lovely guy. We had a great day fishing together. He caught heaps of fish. And then we left him to drive up to Launceston to catch his plane back to the States. He definitely came off that boat. There's no Ozark going on down here in Swansea.
Next, I interviewed some tenants of George Salamandras, who the police are concerned may have retaliated against George for being such a tough landlord.
So I'm now here with Min and Maddie Kingham, who say George was a terrible landlord. So how did George treat you guys?
Well, look, to be perfectly honest with
you. He wouldn't let us have a dog. He wouldn't let us have our beautiful puppy just because she wasn't a border collie. And I just think it's totally unfair considering Daniel Andrews has got these new laws to protect tenants with dogs. But just because she's not a border collie, she can't help what breed she is. He kicked us out.
So, did you guys kidnap George?
Oh no, I mean, he was a terrible landlord, but we wouldn't kidnap him.
Right, thank you for that.
The other possible suspects who spent a considerable time at the police station this afternoon are a couple who may be described as a deranged admirer and her obsessive husband. Our next two possible suspects is Colin and Angelo Alateras, who went to the club Retro with George. The rumour has it that Colin is jealous of George's dancing. So, did you guys kidnap George?
George Salamandras, the guy from Retro, the guy that used to wear a red t-shirt that only he thought was cool, did we kidnap him? We're not criminals. We've moved on. We live in leafy Camberwell now. Gee.
Anyway, no, definitely not. I said, George, I was the best dancer. I don't know what these rumours are. I'm sick of it. My husband was the second best. And James George as well. We all know James. Well, he was the third best dancer. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, good riddance to George Salamandras.
I think people are jealous. That's what's going on here.
The final person I interviewed today was Tim Trelfall, the Rams' substitute quarterback. He will be playing at the all-important Seahawks game this weekend if George Salamandras is not found.
About to talk to one of the suspects, Tim, who is the substitute for the quarterback, which is George, and we're about to ask him what his thoughts are of George's disappearance.
No comment.
Alrighty then. So, the fact that George has gone missing is a bit of a mystery, and the fact you're the quarterback kind of points fingers at you to the disappearance. What are your thoughts on it?
Get the W. That's what it's about here. I was born for this, I'm ready for this, and I can win this game. That's it. That's all that matters.
Right. So, are you sure there is nothing you would like to confess about the disappearance?
Don't know anything about where he is.
So, back to you, Samuel.
We're now going to take a short break to listen to the weather report. Over to you, Sunshine.
Thanks, Samuel. Today it's going to be remarkably gorgeous in America. As you can see, we have sunshine across the entire country. Although there might be a little bit of wind over there. I'm just so happy about this weather. Although I'm so sad that George Salamandras is missing.
We hope you have enjoyed this extensive coverage into George Salamandras' disappearance. Just one moment. My producer has informed me that there's some fresh reports that George Salamandras may have been seen on a Facebook post by a person called Adrian Walker. This is the photo posted in the last 10 minutes. If this photo is George Salamandras in disguise, and it is accepted as a genuine and current photo, then George may be having a wild week in Las Vegas, living out his dream to be part of the Hangover movie. This has not been confirmed yet, but the sake of his mother and devoted fans, we hope that he is in Las Vegas and having an awesome time. And if, George Salamandras, you are watching, your children have asked you to call and provide them with the admin password so they can download some new video games. Hook us up. Good night, America.